So I would like to just tell everybody here, you have to constantly upscale yourself, constantly make efforts. Within 3 months, I started getting calls for interviews. So I remember in the month of March 2022, I interviewed for 11 different companies.
Hi Anurag.
Yeah, hi Abhyuday, how are you?
I'm good. So I haven't shown them your house yet, but I will. Well, let me just introduce Anurag to you all. He's from Banaras Hindu University and he has worked earlier at Tata AIG, but he had a year of experience. And roughly, after that, he joined us in November 2021, started studying at home. And in early 2022, he got a job offer from a data protection consultancy firm, Saro. He gained more experience. In March, he got a position as a senior privacy analyst last year with Deloitte. Around 10-12 LPA, 10-12 lakhs per annum package. He worked there till December. And before that only, around in September, October, he got offer from KPMG in Dubai. And what was the offer? Senior privacy associate. And he is right now at KPMG Dubai, but they have also put him on a secondment for a financial institution where he acts as AVP, Assistant Vice President, operationalizing their privacy program for MENA region. What is MENA? Middle East, North Africa. Right now these terms might sound big or Greek and Latin, but this is what is possible. And he has been in Dubai since January this year. Basically took him 9 months to turn around his career. And salary is around, there if you are going this area, you will be getting 4-5 times more salary minimum. So he gets around 4 lakh per month kind of salary is there. And he stays, his house, actually I wanted to really show you this. I am really fond of this picture. This is the view from his balcony and his house is near Burj Khalifa. This is the view from your balcony, right?
Right, yeah.
And his income basically in 1.5 years has increased 5 times. That is the kind of success possible in privacy. But I want to invite Anurag and share his story with us. So Anurag specifically, opportunity, I haven't seen anybody getting so many jobs in such a short period of time. I understand you're super hardworking, but it's also got to do something with this industry, right? The demand seems to be huge.
Sure. So thank you so much, Abhyuday, first of all, calling me here. And it's so nice to be back and speaking with new guys who are really looking ahead to get into a new domain which has opportunities. Talking about opportunities, I would really love to speak about data privacy. It really fascinates me. I am into it right now. And I made a very active decision at some point of my career. It was around 1.5 years back.
But you were young, no, that time? Sorry, I'll just interact, so please don't mind it if I interrupt.
Yeah, no issues.
So you had about a year of experience, more or less a fresher level or something?
So basically, yeah, I graduated, I completed my law in 2020. And then I had a job offer, it was a placement offer from Tata AIG. So during COVID, I joined that. It was in insurance sector. I worked there as legal manager, and after a year and so I researched about data privacy. I came to know about this domain as a domain that has booming opportunities. I took an active decision to quit that job, and then I got into this data privacy domain. I joined courses with Law Seco as well.
But so you let's say this, that you were starting from scratch in privacy, right? And anyway, 1.5 year experience, so you can't exactly leverage the insurance law experience.
No. That was not at all related to data privacy. That was all pure short legal role.
Different thing.
Yeah, completely different thing related to insurance sector.
Okay.
So I switched to data privacy. I came back home, and the only reason why I switched, I quit my job was that profile was not related to what I chose now for myself. That was data privacy at that time. So I quit
and you chose this because you were interested and you saw opportunity, big opportunity.
See, there were 2 reasons. Being a first generation lawyer, there was a first question that what is the domain that can make me scale myself higher at a rapid pace compared to other that are available around me right now. Right. So that can be something which has booming opportunities or the market is going uphill, right? The second question
so that applies now to HR, CA, CS, commerce people, graduates, lot of them, because they are doing business teams are there in privacy. There are tech teams in privacy, IT professionals getting into privacy. So basically this area being, the less competitive one, or actually barely any competition compared to, like you go into web development, crazy competition, right? So
and the second question for me to consider at that point of time was, what can be a domain in which the stakeholders are ready to pay you? It should not be a chase, it should not be a negative cash flow for you, so that you have to always be in stress that, okay, I have worked but I'm not earning, right? So that can come from a domain which has the individuals or the stakeholders who are either corporates, big companies who have money and they can pay you, right?
Wow.
I found the answer to these two questions with data privacy. Okay. Then I came back home after quitting my job. I sat down at home for like 3 months. I studied. I was enrolled in courses of law sequel as well, and I developed my profile. I switched completely. I completely made a new resume, you would say, okay? Because all the previous internships which I did in my college, the work that I did before that was not at all relevant to data privacy. So basically I had to make a complete new profile, a complete new resume for me. So in those 3 months, I gained 1, knowledge. 2, I developed some profile by getting some credentials, clearing some certifications and all. Initial level.
Did you do any assignments? Did you get support from LawSeco team, either in your profiles or job opportunity?
It was like initially, after the theory part, the most challenging thing is how to know what actually happens on ground, right?
On ground.
Like, yeah. So how to draft policies? You can read through policies and understand, okay, this is the structure. But when there is a situation, then how will you actually act upon it? How will you respond to it? When there is a problem, how will you find the solution? That, to some extent, or I would rather say that much of an extent, was solved by the assignments, which were more or less after a certain part of theory were based upon the practical application of what we read. So that really helped. Within 3 months, I started getting calls for interviews. So I remember in the month of March 2022, I interviewed for 11 different companies. So many companies, my profile in just 3 months was.
How do you get so many interviews?
It's like a strategic job hunt which I was doing. So there are certain platforms which I trust in my experience, like LinkedIn, Naukri.com. These platforms really help. Okay.
Yeah.
Connections that you make on LinkedIn.
I showed them yesterday. 7,900 jobs are there in India in data privacy.
Right.
LinkedIn. Right. And US has 77,000.
I agree. So basically it's about looking into the job descriptions, finding what are the key terms which these profiles are looking for, and trying to embed those key terms in your resume. That's the simple thing to do. If you have those key terms which the market is looking for in your resume, your CV will get shortlisted. That's it. Once it's shortlisted, it's up to you to give the interview. You have
knowledge. What works in interview? What do they look for? They look for practical knowledge?
Yes, sure. Like, first of all, they can see that, okay, you are a newcomer in this profile. You are eligible for, let's say, a fresher or an entry level role. So they won't get much into the technical aspects of practicality, but they will expect an understanding of things, right? How they will happen. Apart from the theory, obviously they will check.
If you can tell them some practical things, you can clear the interview.
Yeah. So if you can just clarify your approach, even though you don't know or you have not ever worked practically on some project, but if you can just tell the approach that this is how I will look up to this problem and try to solve it.
So first you got a job in privacy consulting company.
So first of all, I got an offer from privacy consulting company. It was a startup, but at the same time, since I said I was giving multiple interviews alongside. So I actually got 3 more offers, out of which 2 were from Big 4 and 1 was from 1 more consulting firm. And in the end, I decided
to don't know about all of this. First time I'm hearing. Great. Okay.
So in the end, I decided to go with Deloitte, okay, because of obviously the brand name and the experience.
And you had another Big 4 also?
Yes, 1 more Big 4 was there, but that was not convenient for me because of the location.
Okay.
If I would not have any other option, maybe I would have gone for that. But since I had one option with Deloitte, and obviously, Deloitte is like one of the
up there, yeah.
Obviously. Consult. So I opted for it. I joined it. And then after joining Deloitte, now I was having a position or an opportunity to gain practical experience. I started working on different projects. Alongside that, I didn't stop. So I would like to just tell everybody here, it's not just about getting enrolled in a course and expecting that things will turn out on themselves, right? It will not happen.
Right.
You have to constantly upscale yourself, constantly make efforts. I would have settled there with the Deloitte job, saying that, okay, now I've got into a big four firm. It's the very first initial phase of my career in privacy and my career per se itself, right? But along with the job, I kept upscaling myself. Like I cleared CIPPE, CIPM. I did all the 10 different certifications of OneTrust, Security AI, Big ID. I did Australian Commissioner certification. I did ISO 27001, ISO 27701, and a lot of other various certifications as well, which are relevant to this profile. And I think it was the month of August or September, I don't exactly remember, but in the month of that, I got 2 messages on LinkedIn. One was from a big 4 company from Melbourne, and the second one was from Dubai. Okay, and they
you had a Melbourne offer also.
No, that was not an offer. They were inviting me that after looking through your profile on LinkedIn, we're interested in your profile and we want to have a conversation with regarding an opportunity.
Okay.
So one was from Melbourne and the other one was from Dubai. So I engaged with both of them, but the Melbourne was when I gave the first round of interview, but they were looking for a much senior guy, like 5-7 years of experience. So that didn't go ahead of the first round. But for the Dubai position, they went ahead with my profile. They liked my candidature. I gave 5 rounds of interviews there.
5 rounds?
Yes, 5 rounds, and they will check everything in and out. Okay, for offering. So, but then that's the point. You have to prepare yourself in a way. You cannot just expect things to happen on their own, right? You have to understand.
And you had that track record. You had Deloitte India. You had done all these certifications, CIPP, CIPM.
More than that, even if you don't have much on experience like me, it's about anticipating how you will get ahead. It's about understanding the approach to hit over it, right? So if you have been asked a question in the interview, it's not just that, okay, you must take the answer somewhere from your back or past memory that, okay, I worked on a project and this was the answer. It may not always be the case. You must be smart enough to anticipate, okay, in such a situation, this can be.
That will only happen if you've done the work before, you have had some experience. Practical काम सोचा है, assignment में किया है, या किसी के लिए आपने ट्रैक रिकॉर्ड बनाया फ्रीलांस करते हुए आपने वो काम किया है, या डेलॉइट में किया है, तभी आएगा वो.
और बाकी लोगों के लिए एक बात और भी बीच में ऐड करना चाहूंगा. After working as legal manager in Tata and quitting that job, within those 3 months when I was sitting at home and studying, I did an unpaid internship at that point. So I came back to ground zero. I did an unpaid internship. I was studying. I was again getting into the theory part of it, doing assignments, writing projects, submitting it, getting it checked. From there, I again really started the procedure. And right now, I am here in Dubai working for KPMG.
How many months done? 3 months.
Yeah, it took me 3 months to secure my first job. After switching.
अभी आपको you had given 3 months notice there, so you started in January, right? December you have started here.
Yes.
Fantastic. And how is the
month I got a project here of full-time consulting with a multinational global financial institution.
Secondment.
It's a secondment, and the best part is that since privacy is such a role in which you have to get in line with the top management of the departments or the companies. So you have to deal with the CTOs, CISOs, CEOs, CFOs.
All these people you are dealing with.
Yes. So if you are in such a position, you have to deal with the top management. You must also be in a higher position, right?
Yeah.
So the body that I'm working for has offered me an AVP position, which I never imagined that after just passing out of my college, it's hardly 2.5 years, right? And I am working in Middle East. Right? So that's the story. So even sometimes I feel blessed sometimes. I feel that, okay, maybe I got what I deserve, but something more than that as well. Like there was some other force maybe, but yes.
It starts with you thinking that you deserve, right? And then you did all those things. And 2.5 years from Varanasi, you are in Dubai.
Right. The point is this can be done. This is not something which is alien, right? May not be the case every time, but yes, this can be done.
Fantastic.
That's the scope of the opportunity. I read that in year 2021, I don't have the current data with me, there was a resource crunch of 67% in privacy. Resource crunch basically means when there is a demand against which there is a shortage of supply. So if 100 vacancies are there, 67 of them will not be fulfilled because they didn't find the right skills there.
And there is no other area like that. Everything else you look at in India or the world, overcrowded.
Yeah, right. And just for reference, the Data Protection Authority of UK is called ICO. So if somebody will visit the ICO's website, so there is their careers column there. You will see that the higher ranking positions, and there's a long list of vacancies pending there, and I've been seeing them for the last 1 year. Nobody's there to fill those positions.
Okay.
Right? So if that is the case with the highest body in UK, that's a government body in UK. You can just imagine what will be the reality when you will come to the corporate market on ground, right? So that's the shortage. So people are just taking others who can just work on these things. They're not finding the right skill set. So if you have the right skill set, you can upscale yourself in this.
Fabulous. And I am so proud of you. In 2 years, you have become senior associate in no other area. Whether you work in a CA firm, Big Four, you work in BCG or in a law firm, it takes 5 years to become a senior associate. Anywhere.
Right.
Data privacy, 2 years, and that too abroad. If people move from Indian job to abroad, they sometimes have the same rank or it goes down. Yours has gone up, and it has gone further up in the secondment. AVP level takes I think 10 years at least.
10 years of time, around 10 years.
And that you did in 2 years.
Yeah, just 2.5 years after college, if you'll see the entire story, and just 1.5 years after getting into privacy.
Wow. This is basically shortened your career, accelerated your career by 8-9 times.
That's why I said that apart from what all I did, I feel I am blessed to some extent, yes.
Fantastic.